If you're subscribed, you probably know that I've been on a little bit of a half guard hype recently, and specifically developing our leg lock attacks out of half guard. As our leg attacks become more and more threatening, our opponent will start to respect them and thus leave their upper body vulnerable for us to attack. Now, I believe there is one specific upper body submission that fits perfectly into our half guard game. So in this video, we're going to talk about what that is, how it fits into our approach, and then 3, how to go about defending it. The Kimura is probably the most versatile submission in jiu-jitsu. It can be done from standing position, it can be done from top position, it can be used to pass the guard and take the back, it can be used to enhance your back control, it can be used to win scramble situations. But the way we're primarily going to be looking at it today is using it out of bottom half guard when our opponent is respecting our leg attacks. Like we've talked about before, half guard is a good position for both the top person and the bottom person. The top person has chokes available to them, they have guard passing, they have different things that they can do, so they're more likely to be reaching with their arms. As they reach, they open up opportunities for us to attack, either with an arm drag like we've seen in past videos, or with a Kimura like we're going to look at today. So ideally, we're able to wrap up the Kimura and put the hand behind our opponent's back. If we're able to get the hand behind the back, you're going to cause them to do a forward roll in most case scenarios to alleviate the pressure. In most cases, it's going to be difficult to get the hand behind the back because they're going to be doing everything they can to prevent you from doing that. Now, in a situation like this, we can roll them over our shoulder like we see here. Keep in mind when doing this specific technique that I believe if you use your butterfly hook to elevate, it's going to be easier for you to roll your opponent. But as we see in this scenario here, he decided to put his butterfly hook on the ground and use it as his drive leg. This keeps his opponent in half guard and ensures that they're not able to step out and pass into side control if the elevation doesn't work. So those are a couple different foot configurations you have when doing this specific technique, and what you end up doing, I'll leave up to you. Now, a lot of times when we try to do this roll, our opponent is going to sit back on their heels, making it very difficult for us to roll them over. And because they're sitting back on their heels, it also makes it very difficult for us to enter into their legs. But it should give you enough space for your head to invert underneath and go into other upper body submissions like an armbar. So how this fits into our overall half guard game is that we'll first probably attack our opponent's legs. And as they try to defend their legs, they'll be extending their arms. So we take advantage of that extension by wrapping up a Kimura. And if you noticed, when we're going for a Kimura from half guard, we would ideally like to throw our secondary leg over their back. And luckily for us, if we're going for a leg attack, we'll likely be doing that regardless. So when you go into the legs, you're already setting yourself up perfectly for a Kimura. First, we'll try to extract their hand and put it behind their back. Likely that will not work. As they resist, they'll leave space for us to invert underneath and attack their arm in the form of a jiu-jitsu. Now, if the jiu-jitsu fails, we can just go right back into the legs. Now, if the Kimura kind of fails from the get-go, it's likely because they're able to posture, and this will allow us the ability to wrestle up. But again, the Kimura is very versatile, so it's important as we're wrestling up that we don't just leave ourselves vulnerable to a counter Kimura, and now we're right back to where we started. So the first thing to talk about when preventing a Kimura is head position. If we can keep our head on the same side as our arm, it's going to be very annoying for the person trying to wrap a Kimura on us. Now, the second and most important thing I think to take away from this section on Kimura prevention, if our hand is palm down, we are inviting a Kimura. However, as soon as we turn our palm up, we eliminate the possibility of a Kimura. I think this detail is going to become super important as body lock passing becomes more and more popular. As we're passing the guard, we're going to find ourselves reaching for our opponent. But it's important that when we reach with our palm facing the sky. If we reach with our palm down, we're inviting Kimura entries. And then from top position, it's important to keep in mind that we can use the Kimura to our advantage. When we're trying to pass from half guard and our opponent has an underhook on us, we can play this dilemma game with our partner, where we're trying to free our knee while at the same time keeping an eye out for the opportunity to get an underhook of our own. And then at the same time, we can be looking to enter into Kimura. So our opponent has to worry about us freeing our knee, they have to worry about us getting an underhook of our own, and they have to be worried about us attacking Kimura. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description below, specifically the Patreon, where we'll be doing a giveaway every month for 10% of the total channel revenue. So that includes the Patreon fee, that includes all the ad revenue from YouTube, and any other revenue that the channel makes throughout that month. So if you're interested in being entered to win that giveaway, check out the link below to the Patreon page, and we'll see you in the next video.